G'day, I'm Laura and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel, Crikey Crafting Creations. Today we are going to make this simple yet elegant Valentine's Day card. What you'll need a black card base. I've got it 13 by 26, scored at 13 centimeters. You'll need a piece of red cardstock, 12 by 12.5 centimeters, a piece of white cardstock, 10.5 by 12 centimeters. Then I've got a piece of red cardstock and a piece of fun foam that's big enough for the die cut. An extra piece of white cardstock for inside the card, which is 12 by 12 centimeters, and then a couple of little pieces of white and red big enough for my stamped sentiment. I'm also going to be using Memento black tuxedo black ink, some stamps, this lovely filigree heart die cut, which I actually got as a freebie from one of my favourite magazines. And I'm also using the Tim Holtz Distress ink fired brick and some sticky sheets and tape. Let's get started. Now I pre-cut all my pieces beforehand. First of all, what I'm going to do with these 3 pieces of cardstock, so I'm going to take my distress ink and I'm just going to go around all the edges. All my pieces of cardstock done. I'm now going to stamp my sentiment, which says I love you. And I'm just going to carefully cut around the edges. And I'm going to use that red fired brick again, just around the edges. And then I'm going to take a little piece of my sticky one like so. Then I'm going to adhere that to my piece of red, my little scrap of red cardstock. And then I'm going to cut around that, leaving a little bit of the red. And again, I'm going to use my distress ink, and I'm going to distress the edges. Just like that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be die cutting my heart from the two pieces, well, the cardstock and from the fun foam. But first of all, what I'm going to do is I cut two pieces of sticky sheets, and I'm going to stick them to this before I die cut them. So then I'm going to put the two together so that it gives the love heart a bit of dimension on the front of the card. I might just cut that fun foam down to size. That's a bit better. Now I use, this is X Big Shot. There are other manual die cutting machines. There's also electronic die cutting machines. I've had a Cuddle Bug before and I found that really good, but I do love my CX. Now some people face the die downwards with the cardstock underneath, but I do mine facing up. So we'll cut the piece of red first. I've also got what's Spellbinder's tool in one. That works really well to get all the pieces of the die cut out. Okay. Didn't quite work as well as usual. Oh well, never mind. As you can see, there's all these little tiny, tiny pieces. Oops. Any really tiny pieces I just poke out with my tool. Those bits for the time being. So there's the red bit, red love heart. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the piece of foam. I do find that the fun foam is a little harder to get all the little pieces out, because there's lots of little tiny bits where it can get stuck. Try and get all the little big pieces out. You've got to be really careful because you don't want to tear any of the pieces that you want to keep. Now I know that I got my die cut from a magazine as a free gift. But I know that there are lots of companies out there that make die cuts and make some really, really gorgeous ones. There's Sizzix, there's Tim Holtz, Simon Says do some pretty ones. So just use whatever ones you have. Get these tiny bits out. Now with the really tiny bits, it might be easier. Nearly done. Right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to now carefully stick the red die cut to the fun foam. Get the last of these bits out of this one. carefully remove the white backing. Sticky. What I'm going to do is, when I manage to remove my fingers, I'm going to carefully line this up on top of the fun foam that I cut that we did just before. And line that all up nicely. This bit probably is the most fiddly bit, and it takes a lot of patience. I didn't quite get that perfect, but I have tried cutting it while they're still, when they're already stuck together, and I find that it doesn't always go through all the layers, which obviously would make it difficult. And once it's on our card, you'll barely notice that that doesn't match. Now to take the pieces of cardstock, I'm going to open up the card. I'm going to take that inside piece of white cardstock. This way you'll have something to write your message on. Now we'll do the front of the card. First we'll do a piece of red. Now because we cut this piece at 12 by 12 and a half, means that two sides will be longer and two sides will be shorter, so you'll have a little bit of extra black on the side. I'm doing the two shorter sides, top and bottom. do the white piece. Again, there will be two shorter sides, two longer sides. The two shorter sides will be top and bottom, and the two longer sides on the sides. Now I've got this pretty little corner, as you saw on this one. That's another stamp that I have. I have no idea where it came from. Probably one of my free gifts from one of my from my magazines. I'm going to just stamp that down in the left-hand corner with the Tuxedo Black Magenta ink. And then I'm going to take my die cut heart and remove the backing on the sticky sheet that was on the fun foam side. Oops. A couple of pieces of backing stuck in there. Now I'm going to place that centrally at the top, towards the top of the card. Okay. And just to add a little bit of dimension, just adding a little bit of the distress ink. And then to place our little I love you sentiment, I'm going to use a couple of these foam dots. And I'm going to pop this towards the bottom, off to the right. And there, finished card. Very simple, very quick and easy. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe. I'll be bringing out a new card every week.